The aroma of pine needles and cinnamon hung heavy in the air, a comforting blanket against the crisp December evening. Sarah hummed softly as she arranged the last of the ornaments on the towering Christmas tree, its lights twinkling like 1,000 tiny stars. This year felt different. A quiet contentment settled over her, a feeling she hadn't anticipated. Last year, the holidays had been a blur of forced cheer, a hollow echo of past festivities. This year, though, felt irreal. It started subtly. A chance encounter with an elderly woman named Mrs. Gable at the local bakery. Mrs. Gable, with her kind eyes and a laugh that crinkled the corners of her eyes, had shared stories of Christmases past, tales filled with warmth and simple joys. Sarah, usually reserved and focused on her work, found herself drawn to Mrs. Gable's gentle spirit. They began meeting regularly at the bakery, sharing stories and laughter over freshly baked bread and steaming mugs of hot chocolate. One afternoon, Mrs. Gable confessed her loneliness. Her family lived far away, and the holidays often felt isolating. Sarah's heart ached for her. That evening, Sarah decided to do something unexpected. She baked a batch of her grandmother's famous gingerbread cookies and carefully wrapped them in festive red ribbons. The next day, she delivered them to Mrs. Gable's small apartment, accompanied by a bouquet of winter blooms. Mrs. Gable's eyes welled up with tears. "This is the most thoughtful gift I've ever received," as she whispered, her voice thick with emotion. That moment, more than any other, solidified Sarah's changing perspective on the holidays. It wasn't about the extravagant decorations or the perfectly wrapped presents. It was about connection, about sharing kindness and spreading warmth. Meanwhile, across town, Liam was wrestling with his own holiday blues. He'd lost his job a few months prior, and the festive season, usually a time of joy, felt like a painful reminder of his current struggles. He spent his days staring out the window, the city lights a distant, mocking display of happiness he couldn't access. He felt a crushing wave of loneliness, a void that seemed impossible to fill. He avoided his friends, fearing their pity or awkward attempts at cheer. He'd turned down invitations to holiday parties, preferring the quiet solitude of his empty apartment. He even found himself resenting the happy families he'd see strolling through the town square, their laughter a stark contrast to his own internal emptiness. One chilly evening, while aimlessly wandering through the park, Liam noticed a small group gathered around a makeshift bonfire. The flickering flames cast dancing shadows on their faces as they shared stories and laughter. Drawn by the warmth and the sense of community, Liam hesitated for a moment before joining them. He was surprised by their welcoming embrace. They shared their food and hot drinks with him, their stories ranging from humorous anecdotes to heartfelt confessions. Liam found himself opening up, sharing his anxieties about his job loss, the vulnerability surprisingly liberating. He realized his isolation had been a self-imposed prison, built on fear and self-pity. As the evening progressed, he noticed Sarah, her face illuminated by the firelight, her smile radiant and genuine. She was listening attentively to an elderly woman, her eyes full of compassion. Liam was captivated by her kindness, her quiet strength. Later, as the group began to disperse, Liam found himself drawn to Sarah. They exchanged a few words, a shared acknowledgement of the comforting warmth of the fire, the shared feeling of connection in the midst of the holiday season. Their conversation flowed naturally, punctuated by laughter and genuine interest in each other. They discovered a shared love for classic literature and a mutual appreciation for simple things, like the smell of freshly baked bread and the comforting sound of crackling fire. He found a certain comfort in talking to her, revealing his anxieties without fear of judgment. She offered kind words and supportive gestures, the kind of kindness he'd been neglecting. The next few days saw them spending time together. They went for walks in the snow-covered park, shared warm drinks at cozy cafes, and engaged in heartfelt conversations, allowing their anxieties to dissipate as they fostered a friendship. This year, the holiday season provided Liam with a renewed perspective, a perspective born of shared experiences and compassionate connections with people who truly valued his presence. As the new year approached, Sarah and Liam found themselves sharing a quiet moment beneath the twinkling Christmas tree that Sarah decorated earlier. The familiar scent of pine filled the air, a reminder of the changing season and the significant changes within themselves. The holidays had not magically erased their challenges, but they had revealed the profound beauty of human connection and the unexpected joys of shared experience. They were aware that their own personal holidays were just beginning, and that the shared warmth and connection they discovered this year would last well beyond the festive season. The holiday spirit, it turned out, wasn't just about twinkling lights and perfectly wrapped presents. It was about the quiet moments of connection, the shared laughter, and the simple act of extending a hand to someone in need.